It is 12 minutes past 10. In the morning, that is. What time is it where you are? Everyone be welcome here. Thank you for tuning into the Everything GM broadcast. With me, it's time for music analysis. We're doing... We've got quite a lineup today. Very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff. We've got something from Epic the Musical, which has been long since requested and probably very popular with everyone here. You all seem like Epic heads. And then we have... which is a musical that I haven't really, paid much attention to. I like the stuff. I watch all the clips, but I haven't actually given the album a proper, listening to yet. So this will be my first actual... my first full foray into it. So yeah, I'm quite excited for that. And then after that, we're going straight through to musicals and doing something from Zombies 2, which is something that Somberton requested. But Somberton hasn't been here in a while, so I'm just gonna do it. And when he comes back, wherever he's been, I shall tell him... I shall tell him that we did it already. Oh, goodness. I'd love to know how you are today. Tell me how your day's been going. Give me your mental health out of 10, your physical health out of 10. It'd be lovely to, it'd be lovely to know how you're doing. And be welcome here. Please know that, if you've had a good day or not, if you are lurking in chat or not, if you are watching the VOD in the future, or if you're here right now, it doesn't matter. I'm just happy that you have made us and me a part of your day. So thank you for that. And thanks for letting us spend some time together so we can educate each other on the glory that is music. Taters, Ember, Aracheesy, Alex, Ember again. Baron, hello everyone. Make sure, as Taters have said, make sure that you have water, that you are staying hydrated, and that you're being kind to yourself today. If you haven't given yourself a compliment today yet, to do so right now. What's something that you're proud of yourself for? It's the middle of the night here, so we're probably going to pass out at any time, but we'll lurk until then. Excellent. Thank you, Aracheesy. Oh my god, it's 3 in the morning? Jesus! Go to bed! Go to bed! That percussion is awesome. We love the royalty-free tracks. They're great. Very cool, very cool. Just got 2 guys with Trump as their clan tag and COD to rage quit out of 10. Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for sharing. Doing the Lord's work, honestly. Charizard, Skittle, Buggy, and Bubba are here. Taters, did you... I know that you didn't name them, but it's like... What were you... What were you doing when you named your children? Yeah, I like the new one. Charizard is a new one. I haven't met them yet. But it's nice to see you guys. I've missed you! If you're back with your water bottles, then you know. It's very nice to see all of you. Or to know that you're all here, at least. I think Ember sent you a link for the animated version. Yes, I'm here. I have the animated version. I assumed that you would enjoy it because you didn't respond to it. So, I assumed that you would like the animatic version of it. Oh, goodness. Hey, Tiger. How's it going? Give myself a compliment. I hate myself. Toppy? Sure. Alright, fair enough. Seems like the opposite of a self-compliment, though. 13-year-old finally picked a stream nickname. Listen, I mean, that's fair. You know, if he wants to, you can just use his name. Like, that's fine. Yeah, you named one of your kids Charizard. Oh. Okay. Finally cracking the last number on the musical, so feeling good about myself as this number was pissing me off. Wait, are you making your own musical? Wait, I didn't know this. Ah, oh, okay. Oh, it's a Dutch thing. Okay, cool. All right. Well, welcome, Tiger. It's nice to have you here. I'm writing a new story out of 10. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Very good. I got braces this morning. Ah, how do you feel about that? Very, very cool. Like, good for dental work, but also, like, is it uncomfortable? Did it hurt? Like, how do you feel about it? I am very lucky enough to have never had braces before, but there are a lot of people around me who have had braces in their life, and yeah, it's helped them. So it does work, but it can be quite an uncomfortable process. So, oh, you're very sore. Yeah, I'm sorry. Make sure you drink plenty of water and stay healthy, and don't eat chewy things that get stuck in the braces. Now you have to think of these things, you know? Like, there's food that can get stuck in there, and like, oh, it's such a hassle. I'm so sorry. Tell me, how long do you have them for? How long do you have to wear them for? Is it like a year or multiple year thing, or is it just like a couple months? You can give me smoothies and stuff today. Good. Good. I posted about it in music chat dash. Oh. Very cool. I might have forgotten about it if it's been a while. I got hired to orchestrate and mix it a while ago. I'm almost finished. Well, good job. Very cool. Very, very cool. Awesome that you got hired for that. Is it paid? Or are they exploiting your labor for free? 2 years, maybe more? Whoa. That's a while. But listen, Charizard, you can do it. I believe in you. I think you can do it. Rely on the people around you. They'll support you. I'm sure you're in a very loving environment, so yeah, you're in good company for going through some uncomfortable stuff, yeah. It's about a family in World War II in Wales whose dad is off in the war and they haven't heard from him in 2 months based on the director's great-granddad. Oh, wow, cool. I did get paid not much, but I got paid, hey. Money is money, man. Money is money. They're cemented in place, so kind of has to do it. Well, I mean, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean kind of has to? Like, kind of has to have braces? Yeah, of course you have to have braces. Yes. Wait, did I imply that it was optional? Or do you mean like the supportive environment is cemented in place? What part of my speech are you pulling up here? I'm very excited. I'm very excited for some music analysis. Recently, also, very funny. I got a very interesting surprise the other day. Actually, no, I got an interesting surprise this morning as I woke up this morning. I got an interesting surprise. I'll tell you in a second. You just said you can do it, and I'm saying he doesn't have much choice. But that's how we support people, taters. What do you want from me? Do I say instead? You know what? Instead, I'll say you have to do it. You have to do it now. So I don't care if you feel like you can or not. Now, Mom says you have to. So I'm just gonna divert to them on this. That pay allowed me to go see Deadpool with his sister the other week. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Very enjoyable. Basically, all I got left to do is pad out the woods and brass in this last number, then mix it all and I can set it in. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Very hype. So this morning, I woke up, as you do, and I got a message on Instagram from a stranger. And I was like, that doesn't happen very often. So I was like, what's going on? And the stranger said, are you in Fallout London as a voice actor? And I was like, yeah, I mean, yes. And he said, did you play the milkman? And I went, maybe? who's the milkman? I don't remember playing a milkman. And he said, well, I checked with the Fallout Discord team, said that you played the milkman. And I'm like, okay. Cool, then I must have played the milkman. And he said, yeah, so someone that I was watching on stream found you when he was playing Fallout London. And we loved your character so much that you became a meme in our stream. And I was like, what? What? I became huh? And he was like, yeah, we loved listening to you wax lyrical about the pains of owning a milk company. And I was like, wow, super cool. And he said, yeah, you can go check out the video when he uploads it on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But that's sick. I became a meme in a stream. Not a small stream as well. I went and checked it out, and it's like, the dude has 67,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like, that's not small. That's not a small number. And I was like, shit, okay, that's really cool. And he said on Instagram, the viewer was like, yeah, when it was so cool that in the final mission, when we stormed these gates, which is something you have to do for the final mission, like, everyone in chat was like, for the milkman, and I was like, that's me! That's so cool! Yeah, so I became a meme in some person's stream, and I followed them all the way to the final mission. It feels very good. It made my day, honestly. It was very nice. Very sweet. Also, FYI, I'm sitting on the floor because Pearly stole the chair. That's her chair. That's her chair. Bro, this is it, yeah. I mean, look, I'm still auditioning. I'm on a casting call website, and I'm auditioning for voice acting stuff, and we're trying to break in there. So yeah. I don't know if this is gonna be it, but we'll see. We'll see. Remember, blow-ups often happen like this. It's like a big blow-up, and then that's it. Like, if you, like, for most people that ever go viral, it's literally like 15 seconds, and then you're done. All I have to do is make sure I earn enough money from that time to be okay, and then I don't care. Charizard said, nice try. Yes. I think there's another lockdown coming from the Mpox outbreak. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't like to predict these kinds of things. So we'll have to see. Yeah, 15 if you're lucky, for sure. I think I've spent enough time waffling. Let's do some music analysis. It's been about a week, exactly a week actually. We did this last week as well. And I'm quite excited to get back into it. So we're going to start. What are we starting with? We're starting with a track called Thunderbringer. Let's see here. Yeah, nice try, Charizard. I'm wise to your tricks. You can't bait me. No baiting here. Right, we're starting with, hang on, how do I make this straight again? Here we go. We're starting with Epic the Musical. I'm very excited. This first one is called Thunderbringer. And I'm watching with an animatic. Now, this is not the original. I'm not actually like, I mean, it is the original song, but now it's done. It's like a fan-made animatic, so it's not an official animatic. But still probably fun. This is the first time I've seen it, so who knows? And let's hope this is one of the remastered versions of the song. I guess we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I think it just says Thunderbringer. Let's see. If we listen to it, does this sound like the flashing lights and suggestive themes. Oh my. Does this sound like the does this sound like the remastered version of the song? Does that sound like the remastered version? Or should we listen to the remastered version? How does that sound? Oh, that cloud looks like a face. Very cool. See, that makes me feel like it's gonna be a face. There's gonna be a face in the clouds. Can you tell if it sounds like the remastered version? Let me see if I can find the remastered version. Wait, why am I just searching remastered? Jesus. Oh, Dr. Mick is playing Dead Space. That's so cool. Okay. Epic the Musical remastered. It's not giving me Thunderbringer on its own. So I guess we're just gonna go Epic the Musical remastered. I know they updated the bunch of the songs are not longer. It is a new song, so it's not needed to be remastered. Oh, okay, that's cool then. I don't know music enough to know for sure. Alright. It's the last song in those released so far. I'm pretty sure the only two sagas were remastered. Okay, cool. There isn't a remastered version. Yes. Sorry, guys. Chat is not, like, instant, right? It takes a couple seconds of me searching, and then I read your messages, and then I have to stop. Right, so we start with Thunderbringer. I know nothing about any of this. I don't know what... I know the musical is about Greek gods, and that's about it. I know that it's called Epic the Musical. I followed the composer of the musical when he started and when he was auditioning, when he was running auditions for Epic the Musical. I considered auditioning. I don't remember if I did or didn't, actually. I genuinely don't remember if I did or didn't. But obviously I'm not in it. But I'm just all this to say I was around when he was doing auditions, so a long time ago. And now he's starting to actually release tracks about it. I don't know if there's ever actually going to be a musical or if it just intends to be songs and stuff. But this is Thunderbringer, and I don't know, is it talking about Hercules? It's based on the Odyssey. Now I know that much, yes. But we're gonna see what this is about, and I'll probably have a lot of fun. So yeah. Let's go. We need a music analysis on your singing. No, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. You can do that, though. And the next saga comes out on August 30th. Okay, cool. Oh, that's not far away, actually. All right, sick. So here we go. This is Thunderbringer from Epic the Musical. Here we go. Oh-ho. Oh-ho. Very cool. Ooh. Nice. Really cool synth work here. Oh.
Pride is a damsel in distress.
Woo!
Hiding away where only I can undress her. Trial she cannot to confess. In the end,
isolating the bass, making it feel like thunder. Very nice.
Pressure, thunder, bring her through the ringer.
Whoa, very nice.
Judgment's call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Light
Lovely.
her,
Lovely to see baritone voices.
Woo! What she can't conceal, for true nature will be revealed. Tell me, Odysseus, if I were to make you choose the lives of your men and crew or your own, why do I think they'd lose? Enlighten me, King of Ithaca, since
ooh, lovely little piano up there.
Great. I wonder who'd take the weight of the damned and suffer a gruesome fate to the thunder bringer, here to bring your ears until
Ooh, I love his clarity, very brassy singing voice.
Lightning, past your prime, sublime you for your act of crime. Choose.
Whoa.
Choose. Someone's
Oh, it's
gotta
Zeus.
die
Yeah.
today, and you have got the final say. You or your crew. Please don't make me do this. Don't make me
Amazing.
do this.
Oh, I know this comes from a different song. Cool. Lovely. Wow! So cool.
Captain,
Isolated strings.
I have to see her.
but we'll die.
I know.
Thunder, bring her through the ringer. Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Lightning, wield her.
Wow.
Use and gild her. Show her what she can't conceal, for true nature will be revealed.
Damn. Cool that cool to have the tear fall like timed with the piano. So cool. Lovely little touch there. Woo! All right, so if you don't know much about the Greek like pantheon, hang on a second. I need my water. Yeah, so if you don't know much about the Greek pantheon, Zeus is kind of a dick, like traditionally. He's kind of the biggest, probably one of the biggest like dicks in all of the pantheon. He's just really not a cool dude, and this kind of gives me good vibes, like accurate vibes for Zeus. I think it's interesting how, like in the animatic specifically, they give to be fair, they all are. No, that's true. You are correct. But Zeus is like, he's a special flavor of it, you know? I think it's interesting how the animatic specifically gives him that vibe, but also when you match the aromatic to the music itself, you can feel a smugness in the voice. Listen when he says Thunderbringer the first time. Hang on.
Pressure, thunder, bring her.
So I know the animatic is actually kind of smiling with him, and it's sort of giving your mind a little bit of a vibe already. It's kind of skewing you towards it, which is kind of why I also want to listen to the track alone without animatics like telling me what to see. But you can see, because this is someone else's interpretation now as well that I'm now filtering it through. But you can see that they've latched onto like Zeus's larger than life kind of behavior as well. But you can hear smugness in the voice, and it's really, really interesting. It makes it makes me feel like it's an accurate portrayal of Zeus. I don't know. Very cool. You can kind of the voice has been very well chosen for the character himself. Okay, let's see. Wow, there's lots of stuff that everyone said about this. Let me see. Yeah, the girth of the voice. I'm going to talk about the voice in a second. There are a couple of things that I thought about. Yeah, I have one of the things as this dude was thinking here. This one, the comet meteor thing. Like I've heard a bunch of like remixes of this song on TikTok. So that's quite famous. Zeus coming in as immediately singing his own theme song for a bit is so funny. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is Zeus. That makes sense. When I first listened to it, I watched an animatic with each song. It was very fun. Very cool. Very cool. Definitely recommend listening to it in order since it's a story. This is the last released. Okay, cool. Cool. If I go listen to it, I will, I will give that a... I'll listen to it in order for sure. 3 motifs. Yeah, we're gonna have a talk about motifs as well. It's gonna be great. It's giving me end of Act 1 vibes. I'm expecting a curtain to come down and epic will return after a short division. I think that's because of the mixing of motifs. So you hear this, actually this part, where it's like comet become a meteor, etc. And then she sings with Thunderbringer kind of coming to crash in. Here we go.
I know.
Ooh, very cool. Is there like this sound doesn't sound great. Did it get run through some kind of filter for the animatic? Will the song itself sound a little bit better? Because it sounded very tinny here. I don't know if that's the mic quality or if it's because of the animatic artist. But anyway, yeah, this does definitely give me those kinds of vibes, Alex. All right. This is why you don't piss off the Greek gods. Yeah, true. It basically is the end of an act. There's a time jump between this and the next saga. Oh, cool. Wow. Alex, you got it. Motif throughout the whole musical. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. It's from another song, yeah. Okay. All right, try the link I sent you. Okay, let's see if I can find something a little bit different. Let's see if maybe there's... I wonder if it sounds the same. Let's see.
Captain?
Oh, it's the same.
I have to see her.
But we'll die.
It's the same. It was just... I think listening to it more clearly without the animatic is... it is a choice to make it like more sort of much more reverb. But yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I liked about this, which were many things. First, love to see a baritone voice from here. Let's see.
Damsel in distress, hiding away where only I can undress her.
Okay. Well, first, I'm loving the visuals here. Like I mean, damn. Man is getting a little too close to clouds. I'm just putting it out there. Let me see if I can get it here. Hang on.
Hiding away where only I can
It sounds clearer in this one. I'm going to listen to this one so that we can point out some of the stuff that we found. So, here.
try.
Oh, so in the chorus.
Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall.
Okay. Listen to that. Listen to him kind of... it's like they're talking while there's a bunch of chaos going on. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Give me... Thunder Bring Her is a fun play on words. Yes, good catch as well. Yeah, very cool. Okay, I'm gonna... I want you to listen to the chorus specifically. Hang on a second. Here we go. Just the first little bit. Okay, so firstly, rhythmically, love that the voice, the voice is matching the bass. So the bass goes bum ka ba bum ba bum ka. So we have ba 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 ba. So what's interesting is that the voice is kind of preempting the drums. So the drums go bum ba ba bum ba bum ba bum bop bop bum bop bum bop and da 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 da. So it's kind of syncopated. So the voice is syncopated outside the beat of the drums, which is very cool. Love that mixing of rhythms. And when he goes into his da 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 da, that is syncopated as well. The word syncopation, if you don't know what it is, it means if I have a regular beat, the regular beat in this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Thunder bringer, etc. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so that is the main beat. And if you have a part of the song that is off that beat, but it still matches, it's called syncopation. So bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum. My hands are doing the regular beat and my mouth is doing the drum beat, which is syncopated. Now we do the vocal part. Da 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 da. See how I went? Some of my stuff comes in off the beat of my hands. So that is syncopation. And there's a lot of syncopation here, which I think is really, really cool. But it's very like, it feels like methodical syncopation. What I mean is like, it's, everything, oh my God. Sorry, there's a cricket on my door. Interesting. It's okay. I'll let him stay there for a while. It's a really, really, really cool way to provide this underlying rhythm for the song. This boom, ka, ba, boom, ba, boom, ka. Like, and then the voice does its own version of that, but a little bit before, and it's great. It's great. Listen to how the voice and the drums match up, but they kind of don't. It's great. Is it a lucky cricket? Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask if his name is Jiminy. Let's see.
Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall.
So cool. So cool. So yeah, letting the vocal match but also syncopate itself, not just with the song, but with the drum beat underneath. They match each other, but they're singing at different times. It's just amazing. It's honestly incredible work. So yeah, I love that. Dog is putting her head on my keyboard for attention. You better give. You better give. Yeah, like, this is not negotiable, all right? So yeah, I'm loving that. The other part that I wanted to highlight is the voice itself. So a baritone voice is a voice that is not quite low as a bass, but not quite high as a tenor. It's like a middle voice, right? So, so we have here, notice how he doesn't go that high, but he doesn't go that low either. And it's not really about range. It's more about tone quality. It's a very mid-range voice, is a baritone, but I love it because it's not represented enough. We do often, we show off a lot of low bass singers quite often. And obviously a lot of the pop singing kind of vibe is to sing high, especially if you're a guy. Like, singing high is just sort of the thing. Still, mostly it's the most popular. And I think it's really cool to show more of a baritone for now. So yeah, listen for him here. You can tell it's a baritone not just because of the range that he's singing, but also his tone color.
Thunder, bring her through the ringer.
Woo! So good. Let me tell you what makes a good baritone. Brass. Now, MJ, I hear you ask. I thought brass was an instrument, like the trumpet, or the French horn, or the trombone, or the tuba, or the euphonium, for those of you who like it. Oh, the cricket's climbing up the wall now. Very cool. And to which I say, brass can happen in instruments and in voice. A brassy voice is not... Did the cricket just... Oh, no, he's still there. A brassy voice is that it's a name that we give to the color of voice that we often get. There's brass. The two main types of voice are brass and like woodwind kind of voice. And some voices are more clear, but in the top register. Some voices are more shrill. Some voices are more grounded. And it depends how brassy or woodwindy your voice is, depends on whether you place the voice in your chest or whether you place the voice in your head, and how it moves from down to up. So if you start from here in the chest, I'm going to use my speaking voice to show you how we move. So my natural speaking voice is fairly brassy because it starts in the chest. And you see as I move my voice down into the chest, things have kind of changed a little bit. And then as I move my voice higher into my head, then you can feel that it sort of changes that as well. And when I get very excited, I go very airy and woodwindy and nasally because my voice moves from the chest all the way to the head. And so you have singers who do that as well. A lot of people have a natural way that they move. They either move up to the top in the head or they move to the bottom in the brass, in the chest. And if you have someone with a real big chest voice, like this guy, we say that he has a very brassy voice. So now you know the difference. So when you hear him go, like that operatic baritone voice, very brassy and super cool. So I really like that. Yeah, hearing that brass. Now compare that to hearing the composer of the I've forgotten his name, but the composer of the of this whole thing of Epic the Musical. He plays quite a few characters as well, and this is his moment here. This one. Yeah.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
See?
Someone's gotta die today.
Listen to that brass in the chest.
Final say. You
And then
or your crew.
Please don't make me.
don't make me. It's very up in the head compared to the baritone down in the chest. You can hear brass. Is it Jorge? Is Jorge the pronunciation? Or Jay? Okay. But anyway, this is his voice. I know this. And his voice is very much in the top register because he's trying to sing high and he's got a tenor range up there. But you compare that to Zeus, who has this chest voice, and you can very easily see the difference between the two. Someone with a very high register very often moves straight into head voice when they do this kind of thing. It's very dangerous because you got to make sure that you don't have any tension in your voice when you go up there. Especially if you are not like a natural in that range. But you can see he's doing more of a tenor thing, and he's getting that tenor color. But then you've got Zeus, who's got that more brass baritone color as well. You can definitely see that comparison between them, and that's how you can understand the brass itself. All right, cool. So brass voice, awesome. The next thing I want to talk about is in a musical, or Mr. Jalapeno, as he's called by the fandom. Very cool, very cool. That first line is just glorious. Yeah, yeah, so cool. Such an awesome jump. Very underrated. Okay, so the one of the most important things that you've got to understand about a musical is that the music is just as important as the voice. Music is its own vocal pattern as well. Music plays its own, it tells its own story at the same time. So I want you, every piece of, everything here is composed for a purpose. Listen to the drum beat, for example. I mean, what is that if not a thunderstorm put to music, you know? Listen to that. We've got the drums becoming that rumble of the thunder, and the synth electric guitar becoming, or the slightly distorted one, becoming the lightning. Just this constant like is that not a storm put to music? It sounds exactly like that. Remember, everyone, the music plays a part as well. Music in a musical is as important as the voice. They both tell stories. So look for the visual storytelling. Look for the visual representation that the music gives us. That that beginning part is really fade a little bit, rumbling of the clouds. But it's almost threatening to break, and then the drums come in. Wait for it. Woo! Very cool. Very cool. And I've learned throughout this thing, they're at sea right now. Zeus is saying like you or your crew, and I'm assuming crew is on a ship. And you can hear that of the chorus in the background. When they do that, that's very much pulling ropes on a ship, pulling oars, getting the ship to go faster through the middle of a storm. And that rhythmic that was very common on old ships because all the sailors need to be in rhythm to get a ship to move properly. They all need to be working at the same time in that same like keeping that good time. So you would often have drums. People would often play drums to get people to oar in time, to row a ship in time with each other. Otherwise, the ship would go in circles. Very, very cool. So I love that. So not only now the music is telling a story, but now the background vocals are also telling the story as well, letting us know that we must be on a ship in some way or another. Very cool. Yeah, so an entire genre of music, as Alex very correctly points out, is that sea shanties, which is one of my favorite genres. I love sea shanties. Sea shanties were composed. They came about to keep sailors in time with the things that they were doing on the ship, pulling ropes, oaring, and doing other kinds of orders. Very interesting. So you've got this from the chorus in the background. Then you have the boom, 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 playing that sort of rumbling of the thunder, and then the lightning. And the constant moving of the clouds together is that electric guitar in the background. So cool. And then, as if it wasn't good enough, then this beautiful brassy baritone comes in and just kind of... Very cool.
It's all the same once I apply all the pressure. Thunder, bring her through the ringer. Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, loving that. So remember, in a musical, the music also tells the story. So when you listen to stuff from a musical, listen to the background music and figure out the kind of visuals that music is painting for you, you know? Constantly, the music in the background of this is painting me a thunderstorm that Zeus is then singing over. And it's almost like he controls how the music moves as well, by the way. Because I think, remember that, you know, Zeus as, you know, the god of thunder is the one who controls it. So when he wants the storm to die down so that his voice can be more exposed, especially here talking to Odysseus. Listen to that.
Choose?
He can kind of, as soon as he gives Odysseus time, I think it's Odysseus, as soon as he gives Odysseus time to think about it, and he wants to speak to him, he brings the music back. Zeus himself brings the thunderstorm back so that he can speak to him and so that he can hear him. When he doesn't want to hear him anymore, he brings the storm back, and then the thunder and the lightning and the guitars and the bass comes back, and I just wanted to make sure, it wasn't the pronunciation, it was the name. I just want to make sure it was actually Odysseus. Anyway, so when he speaks to him, he pulls back all the music and the whole storm, so that there's like this isolated piano part so that you can actually hear Odysseus. And then when he brings the storm back, it's like, okay, enough talking now. I'm going to talk and like, you know, show off now again and be very be sort of very Zeus-like about it all. So yeah, very good. Very good. Oh, super cool. So I love this. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is motif. Now, if you are a fan of the epic musical saga, then you have already learned very well what a motif is, because I think it's his favorite word when he talks about this stuff on TikTok. The word motif in a musical sense is a very fancy word for a theme. It's a small theme. And when I say small, it could be a single line of music. It could be a couple of notes. It could be a little bit longer. But it's not a whole piece. A motif is specifically a section of music, an isolated part of music, and it comes back all the time. The idea of a motif in an opera and in a musical, very specifically, these two genres use motifs as storytelling devices. So, for example, almost every single time a character in Star Wars uses the Force, you can hear the Force theme somewhere in the background, especially if they use it for the first time. It happens all the time. And now that I've told you about it, if you haven't heard it until now, then you won't be able to unhear it moving forward. The next time you watch something Star Wars, try and figure out where the motifs are. John Williams understood the idea of the motif better than many others. John Williams is a king of motifs, and he does it in all of his compositions. In Star Wars, because it is considered a space opera, it also uses the same techniques as, let's say, Epic the Musical will use as well. Musicals and operas often use motifs in music. A motif, like I said, a little section of music that is designed to come back and repeat and be altered over the course of the musical. So this moment here.
Your crew.
Here.
Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
So this little bit is a motif. Now, some motifs are very obvious. So it doesn't take a genius for me to just look at that and go, oh, that doesn't come from this song. This comes from a different song. That is the motif of the other song coming back into this one. It's a theme, a running theme. But some of them are hidden. And it requires you to listen to the whole work as a whole, just the whole of Epic the Musical, and see if you can find the important musical motifs. Take them out, listen to them, and remember them, and then see in future tracks if they come back. And I will say this again, I know that because I'm very familiar with Star Wars and Star Wars music, I can draw on Star Wars very easily for inspiration from this, but Star Wars is a great example of listening to more motifs. When a character's on screen, their motif is playing in the background somewhere, but again, like I say a lot of the time, you might not notice it, but your brain does. So whether it's an obvious motif or not, it still serves as a way to put the story forward. And if it's doing it in a very subtle way, it's intended for your unconscious to pick up on it and go, oh, cool. Oh, this is where we are now. And then your imagination will go there without you really even thinking about it that much, you know? That is the beauty of musical motifs. I'm a huge fan of cleverly using motifs to tell a story like that and to bring parts of your brain back to other places to continue to remind us of certain things. Loving it. Love that a lot. Yeah. So there you go. The danger motif is so hidden in some of the songs. I saw a vid breaking down every time it shows up so far. That's pretty cool. What is the danger motif? What is that specifically? Yeah, apparently there's a huge fandom for this. And it's so interesting. It's a lovely little corner of the internet. I like it a lot. Odysseus, you say? There's a song sitting in requests about his cult. No, Cult of Dionysus. No, I'm afraid it's the wrong Greek. A motif could be a single piece of sound design, like an instrument can be used in a motific way if you do it properly by associating it with a single idea or character. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The only places you won't find the Force theme every time the Force is used in any of the Disney Plus original shows, this apart from Mando Season 2 of the animated shows. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just clever uses of motif. You hear the Force theme all the time. They're very rare, very few times where it's not actually used. And it's awesome. Yeah, I really, really like it. Jorge even omits motifs on purpose? Oh, cool. All right, yeah. Well, like I've said before, all right, one of my favorite quotes from Claude Debussy, the French composer, is that music is organized sound and silence. And silence is just as valid a way of using music as sound is. So you could, by taking music away, you often create a vibe as effective as if you had music there as well. Very cool. Yeah, that's also a perfectly valid musical tactic. I think Bad Batch is an incredible example of thematic writing because the Kiners wind the themes into the cues in so many different ways to the point where you don't even realize they're there actively. I was going to use Bad Batch as a specific example because you're right. The composition in the Bad Batch is incredibly impressive. The way that themes fold into each other and just come out, it reminds me of John Williams's skill with themes in his compositions as well. They are such wonderful, natural followers of the torch, like bearers of the torch that he drops and then kind of lets other composers pick up. It's so cool to listen to. So yeah, everyone, the Bad Batch soundtrack is just fantastic for learning about motifs and things, because you bring them back quite a lot. There's a Penelope motif that he purposefully doesn't put into a specific song to give us hints of some trickery. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah. Okay. I love when you expect a motif and you don't get the motif. Can sometimes make the moment hit so much harder when you get an original idea and plays a motif. Yeah. Or you just get nothing. And it that tells a story as well. That sends a message as well. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, for the last little time, I'm going to play the second half of the song just before we move on. Because it's just so much fun. So let's see.
Someone's gotta die today, and you have got the final say. You or your crew?
I hate Zeus, man. He's such a dick. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill someone. And is it gonna be you or the people on your ship? Yeah. Jesus, dude. That's insane. Does Odysseus choose his crew so that he survives? That's crazy.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
When does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster?
So now we have three motifs coming in. It's the first from Zeus, the piano. Then we have man become a monster in the background. And then the woman comes in with that part up at the top as well. Really, really, really cool. Was that his wife? Yeah, he gives his crew so he can go see his wife. Insane. Insane behavior. As if your crew does not also have loved ones assured that are like just as important as you. Absolutely awful. God. That's crazy. I mean, are your crew just NPCs? Jesus, man. That's crazy. Undertale soundtrack's motifs are so good. Undertale was lauded as being an incredible soundtrack for that reason, yes. Partly because its motifs were so skillful and working with that. That Penelope singing is specifically summoned by Zeus due to the rules with chorus singing. Gods can summon choirs, whereas if a human has backing vocals, it's diegetic. That's really cool. I like that so much. Yeah, I like that a lot. So yeah, I mean, Jesus, dude. It's just... And I mean, the line, when does a man become a monster, is very apt here. because it literally says, when does a man become a monster? And he's about to sacrifice his whole crew to Zeus. And of course, who wins at the end of, like, deals with gods? Who wins? The gods. Always. Or they always win. Because they're just power-hungry lunatics. All right? All of them. Crazy.
Does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the rain? When does a man become a monster?
All of these chords, as he's making that choice, all of those isolated chords, they sound a little bit like a pipe organ. They are all clashes, and I think that is meant to describe his, like, Odysseus specifically, his sort of his unease with this decision, like the fact that he's not fully in on this. He still feels incredible sorrow for this, because he's being played by, you know, Zeus essentially. But he, those clashes, they're not full chords. They're chords, and then there are notes that don't usually belong in the chord in them that make clashes. Listen here. Suspensions. They don't play full chords. They're suspensions, because it's like, do I want to do this?
I have to see her.
But we'll die.
Crazy.
I know.
Crazy, dude. Crazy. And then you'll see, once he makes the decision, there's that percussion in the background. Everything gets a lot busier because now they're gonna die. Crazy, dude. Of course, once the storm is over, which is what happens here, the piano is now isolated, and there's no, like, extra weird stuff because Zeus is gone, and he leaves a solo piano to think about what it's done. In this case, Odysseus. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know what diegetic means. Diegetic means, like, it means something that's happening in the actual thing that the characters can hear, as Alex puts it, as opposed to not, well, I don't know, I can't remember what the opposite of diegetic is. I'm just going to say non-diegetic. So non-diegetic is when we are hearing the music but the characters are not. Or we are hearing something that the character is not. So the crew's singing back up while standing right there versus Penelope, who isn't there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. They theoretically can hear the summoned choirs, but the summoned choirs are not characters versus when humans sing and get backing vocals from other characters. Yes. Am I hearing some sevenths in there? I'm sure there's a seventh in there. This is beautiful. This is a really beautiful track. I really like this. This is genuinely making me want to go and listen to the whole thing. Like, it's super cool. I'm going to go and look up these, yeah, I'm going to go look this up quickly. Jorge Rivera Harans. Very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go and look up his stuff. I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do. Dude, this man, I was there. I feel so, like, I feel so, like, privileged. I was there when he was doing auditions at the beginning of this, and now he has 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That's crazy, dude. Really, really cool. Also, in his discography here, he's got yeah, so there's the studio cast recording, and then there's the official concept album. So there's the Ocean Saga, the Circe Saga, the Underworld Saga, the Cyclops Saga, the Thunder Saga, and then the Troy Saga. I think the most recent is the Troy Saga. Very cool. And it starts in 2023. I'm adding all of these, by the way. I'm definitely going to go and listen to these. This is sick. So thank you all for giving me this new music recommendation. That's great, man. That's great. Listen to the whole thing, MJ. Join us. One of us. One of us. What do you mean Troy Saga's the first one? It was made in 2024. As in the beginning of the story? Oh, are they released out of chronological order? That's irritating. Just release it chronologically. Oh, it's because of the remaster. Okay, that makes sense. If it was the very beginning, probably be glad you weren't involved. Jorge had a falling out with the company that helped make the first couple of sagas. I know. I heard about that. I did hear about that. Okay, it's not out of chronological order. It's just because they made a remaster. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. The dog tax is paid. Very good. Thank you, Ember. I feel happy now. He had to redo them? Okay. Alright, cool. Well, let me know. Let me know what the order is, and then I'll go listen to them. For now, I think we're done. So, so that part is done. If there's anything else that anyone wants to talk about regarding Epic, that'd be great. But if there's other Epic stuff that you would like to talk about as well, if there's other, like, Epic tracks that you want me to listen to, feel free to post them. Please do not post 10 of them and be like, react to all of these immediately. I will not. Where I probably wanted to remake them similar to how Taylor Swift remastered her own music. Yeah. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting as well. Oh, cool. So that was the Epic version. That was the Epic portion of the stream, and we're gonna move on to now zombies, which I'm a little bit excited for. I have not. Now this is actually technically Zombies 2. I've not seen Zombies 2 or Zombies 1. In fact, I'm not even sure there is a Zombies 1. Maybe there is. But this seems fun anyway, so I am going to give this a listen, and I have no idea what's coming, but Somberton requested this. So we're going to give this a little listen, and we're going to see what's cool about it. The Tots fully want you to do all of them. I can listen to all of them, and I'll let you know how I feel. But you know what? Maybe we can just turn this stream into an Epic stream. Maybe it'll just become an Epic stream, and we can just do Epic stuff. Then you can tell Jorge that I analyze his music, along with 1,000 other people probably, and then he can pick me to be a next singer in maybe another song of his. Can we take a moment to appreciate MJ's glass, totally nicked from a pub? I'm sorry. This was given to me as part of a purchase. Like, we bought Peroni, and then they gave me a Peroni glass. I'm just, like, it was given. It was not nicked. Thank you. All right, so this is Flesh and Bone, done by the cast of Zombies 2. So, here we go. I have a feeling I'm going to get absolutely clapped by this. I feel like we're going to get clapped. So this might be a bit of an interrupt. We'll see. Oh. This is not what I expected. Wait, why are zombies talking about human rights? Oh, is it Disney? Oh god, dude, I'm gonna get absolutely insanely clapped. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to We're gonna go to the lyrics, like, not, I don't wanna see that. I need, yeah, I want the lyric video will be good. Let's do we can do the lyric video. Okay. Why are zombies asking for human rights is what I want to know. Like, that's an interesting one. The zombies are an analogy for marginalized people. Oh, okay, cool. All right. What's interesting, yeah, I was not expecting the singing after the zombie growling. I was expecting some zombie singing, like, yeah. But we got some good stuff. Okay, yeah, we might have to pause this. Flash warning, by the way.
A call for revolution, yeah, we came for what was ours. It's time for restitution. We'll protect our own, take back the stone. No human nature cannot hold us down.
Very nice.
Stranded at the bottom, but we're more than a whisper. No, we'll never be forgotten. Our blood's thicker than silver, yeah. When words collide, it's do or die. So tell me, is it wrong to stand your ground?
No, it's not. Fight.
Hear us howl, all or nothing, fangs around. We ain't running. Hear us howl, it's all or nothing.
This is our declaration.
Nice. We're getting clapped. I'm getting clapped. There's I got a little notice that says heads up. Okay. Yeah, so the male voice is what I was expecting. When the dude goes like, when the dude says, na 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 na, yeah, that sounds more good, like this one. That sounds like a zombie, you know? Yeah, sorry dudes, I'm getting clapped. I don't want to get clapped, so we're gonna say no to this one because it's gonna hurt us. So this is gonna be slightly interrupted. I'm gonna go listen to it offline, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Because that is, I mean, yeah, is it depressing? Yes. Does it piss me off? Yes, it does. Especially because we are, like, this is the definition of fair use. But as I've said many times, they don't really care about that. They just feel like bullying anyone who's like even a little bit under them. So yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be doing that. What's funny is that we're listening to a song about standing up for rights and, like, you know, standing up for the little guy, and the big guy is like putting his boot on me right now. It's kind of wild, to be honest. The zombies are an allegory for POCs, and the first movie discusses segregation and equality. Here's what I'll say politically about that song at the very least. Based on what I know about it now, I always find it a little bit irritating when a billion-dollar conglomerate company releases media that talks about standing up for freedom and, like, standing up for rights, like civil rights and civil liberties and social rights. Because social justice and civil rights are all fine and good, but they never really touch the economic rights that are the cause of the social injustices that we see. Like, that's tied together, you know? And I always find it very irritating when people, when like Disney releases Andor, for example, when Andor is like some incredible media about overthrowing fascism and the rise of imperialism and all that other cool stuff. And then I'm like, oh wait, but Disney greenlit this. So clearly they don't think that it's revolutionary enough to actually threaten them when they are literally the problem. So it does sort of kind of grind my gears a little bit. And a movie like Zombies, where you've got these people talking about, like, standing up for indigenous people, and the indigenous people are like the zombies sort of standing up for themselves. Like, hello, you know, Disney is the person that they're standing up against, right? They're supposed to be doing that. So yeah, it does piss me off just a little bit. So don't ever forget, by the way, that even if you find a piece of media that is really good and talks about, like, social justice and all these other good things, don't forget that it's a company dangling it in your face and going, hey, use this. It's all good. Use our product to fight for social justice. Such a weird irony, right? But still, cool song from what I learned. I'm not going to be listening to the whole thing on stream, I'm afraid, because that clapped that copyright notice came through so fast, so I'm gonna, yeah, I can't risk it, unfortunately. So we're gonna move on, I'm afraid. Sorry, Somberton. It sounded good though. Definitely sounded good. Yeah, so the second movie is about the werewolves who are an allegory for indigenous folks, and the second movie, very good, adds aliens who are an allegory for immigrants. Okay, cool. Bake me into a brick and introduce me to a fascist at high velocity. Bake me into a brick and introduce me to a fascist. Very good, very good. That gives me very, like, moisturize me vibes, you know? I love the discordance to rough male versus smooth female voice. Yeah, I like that as well. Based on the 5 seconds we listened to it before Disney went, hey, you know how we released a song about fighting for social justice and sticking up for the little guy and the marginalized? Actually, you can't listen to that anymore. So there you go. You can only listen to it if we tell you to. So we get to tell you when you get to fight for social justice. Cool. All right, let's go do the other one, shall we? Bake me, bake me. Yes. Yes, indeed. Right. So, from Odysseus to Dionysus. We're gonna learn about the cult of Dionysus today. Moving on to a request given by Alferg. Is the other one tot friendly? Hey Alferg, what do you think? Are we kid friendly now with the Orion experience? I don't know. I feel like it could be. This doesn't feel like a not good song. I don't know. It's up to you. It's got someone licking a lollipop. That's the album art, but we'll see. If you want to do a third tonight, I think Billy should be alright, but up to you. She doesn't tend to clap people, I don't think. I mean, have you seen her latest music video? I'm sure there was a lot of that going on. I'm 99% sure. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't it be, Taters? Unless are we gonna... I mean, it's okay. Listening to music about a cult is just like playing D&D. So, and your kids do that all the time, so it's fine. Guys, you can join for this one. It's fine. Okay. So, this is the Orion experience. This is the Cult of Dionysus by the Orion experience. Yes, there are two these in this, in both the title and the artist name. And again, I know nothing about this. I've never heard this band before. I think it's going to be great. So let's see. Complete blind listen. Let's see if it works.
Yesterday I heard you say your lust for life has gone away.
Ooh, I love this. This is so... Oh, this is such an Alpha song.
So let's make a decision.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Very nice, like, moving bass. Love the way the bass is moving up and down. Very nice.
You're looking glamorous.
Let's get
Oh.
mischievous and polyamorous.
It's It's got some classic, like... This is so sick. It's got some classic choruses from, like, the 80s and 90s style as well. Very cool, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I like this. The sound editing, the post-processing is really good on this. Like, I love... Love this. I love the balance of vocals and instruments. It sounds really nice. They've got some good clarity here.
You're young and beautiful, and I love you always. You got no time for pain when it's just you and me in ecstasy.
Woo! Building up to that. Very nice. Ooh, bridge to a guitar solo. We love it. That's classic. Yeah, I was going to say back to 80s. 100%.
What is with the world today? The wicked games
Ooh.
that people play. The
On-beat
wars
snare.
we
Very,
waste away.
very 80s rock punk. Very, very like Green Day vibes, you know? Dude, that descending bass, so good. So good.
Looking glamorous. Let's get mischievous and polyamorous. Wine and women and wonderful vices. Welcome to the cold dark Dionysus.
I'm feeling devious.
Looking glamorous. Let's get mischievous and polyamorous. Wine and women and wonderful vices. Welcome to the cold dark Dionysus.
So sick. Alfred, I'm sensing a pattern here. You tend to suggest songs that sound very similar. Okay, so let's talk about why this reminds you of something. So not only is it super rock punk, but it's also super 80s. There are so many elements. Firstly, I'm gonna go to the most like broad element that makes you think this is 80s. What makes you think that this is so like instantly 80s? It's the quality of recording. It's the sound recording. Remember, in the 80s, we did not have recording equipment that was as good and could create as round of a sound as we do today. When we record things today, everything is very digital and electronic, and it can create a very round sound with lots of good bass frequencies. But in the 80s, it was kind of still the era of LPs, of records and vinyls. And so when we recorded things, it still had a lot more in the mid and treble ranges. And you can hear that in the slightly tinny, but intentionally tinny sound of the vocals. Listen to the first time the women come in with, "You're looking glamorous."
I'm feeling devious.
You're looking glamorous.
Listen to that, listen to that tin, man. Sounds so good. Now, it's not like flawless, perfect, like scratchless recording. That's the point. So the point of the song is to remind us of the 80s, firstly, because the vocal quality, the recording quality of the vocals is taking us back to that time, and it sounds like an 80s recording. But then the instruments are recorded in a more modern way.
Let's get mischievous and polyamorous.
Like, listen to that. There's such a cool, like, juxtaposition there. So you've got the instruments playing and recorded in a more rounded manner, and the vocals who are still in that mid and treble tin range, so that the bass kind of comes out from the bottom and sounds more resonant, but you've still got the, you've still got the voices kind of moving up there in a more classic way. It's great. This reminds me so much of how Green Day records things. It's so cool. I love it. Very, very cool. So I think, especially here. There's a whole moment here. Not here. Not here. That's the. Here we go. Okay, now, when you play a drum beat, usually, dun 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 dun. Usually you don't play the snare on all 4 beats of the bar. Usually you play the snare on the offbeat, on 2 and 4. Dum dum. That's how a regular drum beat should go. Well, it's how a regular drum beat does go. Not should. We've decided that it does go like that. But when you then change the snare, it changes the vibe. And I don't know why, but pop punk and rock punk and punk bands like Green Day I think of Green Day as like the most famous example of this because they use it a lot. But there's a lot of other bands that do this as well that are part of the genre. Is that they'll have sections where Linkin Park does this as well, even though they're not punk, but they do it as well. And when they suddenly they change the way the snare operates, it reminds you of a different genre. We've decided that the rock punk, pop punk genre uses snares in that way, where they bang on every beat of the bar instead of just the second and fourth beat. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's called 4 on the floor. It's called 4 on the floor snare, as Alex has said, because there are 4 snare beats in a bar. It's 4 all the time. It's just snares every beat.
The wicked games that people play.
And actually, the part of the drum that is now, I think one of the reasons why it might be called 4 on the floor specifically is because usually the part of the drum that is keeping that 1, 2, 3, 4 beat is the kick bass, which is on the floor. But now you have the snare keeping the beat, and what accompanies the snare here? The bass. So cool. So it kind of reverses that. It turns it on its head. So cool. Yeah, you'll hear 4 on the floor beats on the kick and dance music. Yeah. So we shared a brain cell there. But now punk music decides to turn that on its head. And I think if I'm reading a little too deeply into this, it might be because punk tried to turn the music industry on its head. That's kind of what they did. They were very revolutionary. So here we have this. And I mean, it's just so good. Listen. So good, man. Oh, and that little distortion in the guitar in the back, super nice. Super nice. Yeah, that's awesome. We've decided that the group who likes to do things different does this thing differently. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I think the way that Alex put it, like analog and tactile from earlier, is really accurate for this kind of music. It really makes you feel like they are feeling the instruments and really getting down to what the instruments can do more haptically, like in a physical feeling type of vibe rather than an auditory feeling. Really cool. Yeah. Also, Alfred, when I said this is your style, like, you generally request this style of genre, like this style of music. Oh, you want to hear a really good... Now, I was talking about Green Day earlier. I think She's a Rebel does 4 on the floor snare, like, a lot. But there's also... the Linkin Park song that I was thinking about was... I dig it out, dug it deeper just to throw it away. Bleed it out, not dig it out. Bleed it out is the name of the song. Go to Bleed It Out and you'll hear that. You'll hear the 4 on the floor snare. It starts it off. Actually, we'll hear it now. Let's go here. I have YouTube at my fingertips. We're gonna get clapped, but let's see. Bleed it out. Yeah. Wait for it. I love this song. But let's start tight so I won't get and stop it out there we go. I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand. Bum bum ba 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 bum bum. Told you, same thing. Literally same thing. So good. So good, man. So yeah, that's another banger from Alpha. I really like what they did with the style. So like I said, the main takeaway from this kind of track is that they've just done such a great job at capturing that 80s vocal vibe while still maintaining truth in the while still maintaining accuracy in the recording quality of the instruments. So the voices take us back, but the instruments and the style are still fairly modern. Super cool. I really, really like that. Alrighty. I kick my kids out, lol. Polyamorous mention. Wait, do they not know what that means yet? I thought they were in the loop. I talked to an old DJ, and he said he always has a good laugh because everyone spent so many years trying to make the sound quality better, and now people choose to make their songs sound tin canny. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it really... people do it for different reasons, but I think one thing that's really interesting about like going back to genres and blending genres like that is that I think there's a cool factor. Oh, the two comments are unrelated. Okay. There's a cool factor regarding going back to vintage. It's very like hipster and stuff. But also, I think a lot of people would... many people cosplay the idea of like being born in the wrong generation and stuff. And I think people resist the... There are many reasons why people mix genres and go back to the classics and start purposefully taking out those recordings. And that is because, firstly, in a more simple sense, music is creativity. So exercising that creativity and going back to how things were is just an exercise in creativity. You're sending a message. You're bringing people back. You're sort of encouraging nostalgia and doing all these sorts of things. And I think that's quite cool. But also, there are lots of other reasons for why people would do this kind of thing. Like... maybe some people feel that those times were better for music. Maybe they want to go back to that vibe. Like I said before, maybe it's nostalgia bait. Maybe they're just trying to like inspire that feeling of 80s with people because 80s music inspires a more glorified time in the music industry, even though it was under the surface absolutely freaking awful. Like absolutely awful for people and like mental health and stuff. But there's this glamorized version of it that I think a lot of people pretend that the music scene was back then. Even though we had some of the most incredible performances and music techniques and bands and groups come out at that time, the industry was so awful and predatory, but it was better hidden back then. I think we're now discovering what's, like things are coming out now far more often than they ever were before. They were hidden very well. And I think that that's what makes most people kind of go, you know, the 80s was a different time. And I was like, yeah, it was much worse. It was definitely much worse. We just didn't see a lot of it. And I think that might be one of the reasons that people just kind of want to go back to that glorified time where they didn't know about... If I'm reading a little bit deeply into things, that old is gold vibe, Baron, I think really is... For some people, and you're right, new is gold too, yeah, it's all gold if you're looking for it. And I think one of the more deeper truths of people wanting to go back to those times is really what they want to go back to is a time before they knew about all of this. I think many people would prefer to just go back to a time where they could be ignorant and they could just pretend that bad stuff isn't happening. Because knowing that the bad stuff is happening is kind of ruining the good stuff for a lot of us, because the good stuff hides a lot of the bad stuff. And then when you know that it's hiding it, it's not good stuff anymore, you know? So it's like, yeah. So what I think what a lot of people would love to do is go back to a time where they weren't so aware of everything. For me, though, I actually really love how, of course, there are other reasons as well, by the way, but I love being more aware. I know that at many times it can feel exhausting, but if you're looking for a little bit of hope maybe, and you are someone who's quite class conscious or very aware of the world that is going on around us, I think that one of the ways you can think about it is the things that you appreciate because you know that they're good. Think about how much enjoyment you get from that because you've done that. You are an aware person. You're aware of the world around you. And there's still something in that awareness that is good. That's awesome. And I think that it helps me appreciate that stuff a lot more. Like being more aware of the world definitely helps me appreciate the good stuff. It really goes to show that comparatively low quality product is just as good. Yeah, the quality doesn't matter as much. I think it's really just about doing what you want and doing what sounds good. So absolutely. They could just like the sound. Yeah. So old music. So for me, for example, I'm going very deep into it, but on a surface level, I have so much love for the vinyl recording quality of old records. I love that sound. It's crisp. and there's that scratchy quality to it. It just hits, man. It just hits. So I love that. I really like that vibe. And it's not because I want to be ignorant. So my analysis is only applicable to like a certain type of people. I didn't say that was the whole thing. But yeah, it's very much in that sense. Very much lots of different people have different ways of interpreting it. 100% I want to be able to be ignorant. Had a conversation with my grandma, basically admitted that. I mean, and that's fine. It's okay to want that because listen, the world is a messy place. And to have everyone be aware of everything going on in the world all the time is not what we were meant to do. Like our technology to make us more aware is developing far quicker than our brains have developed. We didn't prepare ourselves for that. So what we're going through right now is very unnatural based on what our brains are equipped for. I don't think that any of us are really equipped to be fully aware of everything that's going on in the world right now. That doesn't mean that we should shy away from it, but it's just something that we should realize that it's okay to be exhausted by it, because even if you're not actively experiencing it, because we're not ready for it. We were never ready for it. We didn't have all this. No. All this was definitely still happening. It was hidden. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. There's tons new gold out there. It's hard to choose. I think the market is definitely saturated, Baron. I think there's a lot out there. And that when I talked about being aware of everything going on in the world all the time, I didn't just mean bad stuff. I meant like music as well. So music as an example, you think about how many songs there are out there. Just how many songs? 1 billion? 7 billion? One for every person on Earth? Who knows? An unfathomable, unimaginable amount of content is out there for you to consume. And we get to choose, like, random algorithms get to choose what becomes famous like in a new week, you know? It's the same thing. Like, I have this thing about music that I then take to just basically everything. But the way that we make people famous is still very much the following formula. Every week, the algorithms push someone and they just get famous for a while, a news cycle or two, and then they fade into obscurity again, and they try and make as much money as possible during that time so that they're okay when they fade. So right now, the demure lady on TikTok is going super viral. Everyone's using it. Now brands are hopping on to just kill the trend, and then the trend will go away, and then that person will fade into obscurity. And that's just what happens. We've picked a new person to be famous, and then they'll just kind of fade away again. And it's like, okay, like who chose that? No one. An algorithm did. It's very weird. We're essentially run by that. But when it comes to things like music, we have so much. It's the same thing. We have so much to choose from, and it's the same thing. We choose, like, it's pretty much luck of the draw which musicians get famous and which ones don't. It's really up to you. You just get to choose what you like. So this is why I'm saying, don't listen or not listen to the trends. Just listen to what feels good for you. That's it. Fame doesn't necessarily matter. Like, it's okay. If you're listening to someone that's super famous, that's fine. If you don't want to listen to that person and you want to listen to someone else, that's fine. Don't let the reason why you consume things be because everyone else is doing it and I don't want to feel left out. Or because everyone else is doing it and I don't want to be a sheep that just does things that other people do. Like, don't let that factor into your decision. You should do things because they're fun. You should do things because you like them, not because other people are doing it. Or because other people are not doing it, because that's the same thing, essentially. Because a lot of people will feel like I break away from trends. Look at me, I'm so cool, because all these trend people, I break away from them. Yeah, but you're still making a decision based on the trend. Like, you are the same as those people then. So you should just do stuff that you like. That's the conclusion there. She just wants the world to go back to how it was, and then I mentioned how awful it was back then, and she said, well, it wasn't like that in my world. See? She wants to go back to her world, where she had a good time, and where she didn't have to think about how many people she was exploiting. It's pretty crazy. I always have this feeling I can't keep up with the new stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. You want to talk about saturated markets? There's more anime from 2010 to 2020 than there is before 2010. Yeah, no, we live in a saturated world, 100%. Content is saturated. We live, there's just too much. There's too much stuff. Now, I love that creativity, but not a lot of it. A lot of it is not creativity. A lot of it is just stuff. A lot of it is there's a word that goes around. It's just slop. Like there's a lot of slop out there, and it's mainly people who create mediocre stuff, not because they're passionate about it, but because they're in the rat race along with everyone else. They're just trying to make a living, and so they make stuff that they're not passionate about, but because it'll pay the bills. And then that just completely saturates the market and creates more slop for everyone. And by the way, for those of you who are thinking this is no longer a music analysis stream, this is music as well. Music is exactly like this. We see this happen in the music industry. Go listen to Chapel Roan talk about the music industry. She's recently gone on a couple of, I think it was a podcast where she talked about that. The people that are like, I hate this artist, they're too mainstream, but then list a bunch of similar artists they listen to, like, you could listen to them all though. Yeah, just listen to people you enjoy. Why define your taste based on how many other people also have that taste? It doesn't make you cool. It makes you cringe. Don't be cringe. I'm not going to listen to any more music, by the way. I'm done. I think I'm very happy to just... Let's see here. I'm very happy to just oh, okay. Yeah. I'm very happy to leave it there. I think it'll be good. I'm gonna kick around maybe on Discord in a bit. I felt that yawn in my soul. I actually didn't register that I yawned at all, so that was very much an off-camera yawn. That was I mean, I'd love to stick around and play some video games, but I have a lot of stuff to do today, so I'm gonna go do that first. And if you guys are still around, then I'll be around. Taters, you are up, like, way past when I think you've, like, long since gone to sleep. Especially these days. Did that yawn sound like a furry going rough to anyone else? I don't know, man. I think that's just you. I don't know. I think that might be just you. I'm just gonna put it out there. I've definitely been up till 6 or 7 a.m. lately. Jesus, 6 or 7. That's crazy. But then you have to wake up for your kids though. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Very, very not cool. Do you just not feel tired? Sure. No judgment. Not in a judging tone. Just for the record. They've been sleeping till 11. Oh, yeah, that's true. 4 hours of sleep is great. It's cool. That's definitely enough. I did it again. Okay. School's gonna hit them hard, yeah, 100%. Oh shit, they start soon. They start school again. And you start school again. Tater's gonna have to fix her sleeping schedule. Or 12 sometimes, but I drag them out of bed by then because they gotta hydrate. Yeah. Alright, everyone. I'm gonna leave it there. It's been a really nice time, though. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just not sure what we're gonna do tonight, but we shall see. But in the meantime, thank you for joining me for yet another amazing music analysis. I'm very glad to have been doing the epic musical. Taters, please tell your kids that I really liked having them there and that I missed them. It was very cool to have them around. I hope they had fun. And please tell Charizard that he cannot trick me, and that I am too smart for your baiting tricks. I am a master at bait. You might call me, or you might not. Just gonna let that sit there. Thank you all very much for joining into the Everything GM broadcast. Joining and tuning in at the same time. It's 11:52. It's almost 12 p.m. Almost lunchtime for me. And, yeah, I will see you all in the next stream. So make sure that you stay hydrated, no matter how you've engaged with this stream. Thank you for doing so. Thanks for making me part of your day. And I will see you in about 10 hours from now. We do it all over again. Take care, everyone.